Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to take a look at the Fresh Monkey Fiction Operation Monster Force Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper. This is a lot of repaint. I've just been looking at it. A lot of reuse of stuff. I have a feeling some of these figures are going to be like that. There's the Sleepwalker and the Delta Red. There's two different versions of them that came out in this wave. So I already did the Van Helsing. I talked about it saying number one. It was book number one. I wasn't paying attention. They're all marked books. So here is book number 3. And it's Roman numeral 3. And you know what that is? WrestleMania 3. Where I was at with 93,173 other people. That's a story for another day. This here, we're going to take a look at this. We've been waiting for Monster Force. I won't be going over an unboxing again. You can take a look at the last video. I will leave a link at the end of this just because, well, you really don't need to see it being taken out of the package. So anyway, here is wonderful artwork or photography. Operation Monster Force Delta Red. This is the Nocturnal Operations Trooper. On this side, you're going to get the number 3. We'll actually get on both. All right, and on the back, you got a nice cross-sell. You can read the bio of the figure here. It tells you all about them. And then on the inside, there is a panel that kind of discusses each figure. And then here we have the figure. And you can see it comes with a head, 2 different masks. Here's his gun, his hands. And then there's also a bag of stuff that's in there. Van Helsing came with a lot of stuff. So I have a feeling that's what we're going to get. Maybe a lot of reuse. We know a lot of these smaller companies, such as like Valiverse and stuff, they do that where they reuse a lot of stuff, but everything is modular, so they can change things around so it looks different. I don't think this company is going to be any different, and I don't have a problem with that. These do run $37. You got to get them from BBTS, which is a Big Bad Toy Store. If you're unfamiliar with them, they are a legit company, so you don't have to worry about getting screwed or anything. But again, we're going to get a lot of stuff, and we'll look at everything that we have. But let's get into this, and before we do, if you like this type of stuff, you like Operation Monster Force, take a second, hit that like button, hit that bell notification, then hit that subscribe button so you're notified every time I did it out of order, so it doesn't matter. Let's get to this, and not this. Okay, so I got them out, I kind of separated everything, and once again, if you watch my Van Helsing video, then you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. There is some stuff that is different, but you're definitely going to see how you can army build this figure, and every single one of them will look different. So, first off, we'll take a look at the hands. He comes with less hands because all he has is gloved hands, all right? So on him, he comes with the C-gripping hands, or I used to call them the thumb wrestling hands, but he doesn't have his thumb up. Comes with 2 trigger fingers. They're gloves, so he has Kevlar, little knuckle dusters. Same thing that Van Helsing came with. He's got these open hands, and then he has the punching hands, which will be coming real nice when they're fighting other people. All right. We have blast effects. All right. So we have 1 smoke effect. I like it. It's translucent. It looks good. And then we have 3 different sizes of blast effects. They're solid. All right. They're not rubbery like most of the Hasbro, and they're not too stiff like a lot of the Valiverse. I think they're a nice in-between, and they look pretty good. It's got a nice little soft explosion. No like bullet at the tip like what Mezco does, but at Mezco you're also spending way more on a figure. Here's another one, same concept, big explosion coming out, and same here. Now, quickly, if I can find a G.I. Joe gun, I don't know how I can't have one. These do fit in the ports for the blast effects for G.I. Joe. So these can be used for G.I. Joe. I had said, hey, you know what? Hopefully they'll sell some of these so you can get some. I'm going to be 100% honest. By the time you're done, if you're buying all these figures, yeah, you're not even going to have to worry about it because you're going to have so many blast effects, it's not even going to matter. All right. So we got the hands. We got the radio. Now, I complained on the Van Helsing that it needed like some blue for a screen, some sort of color. This one has it. So I don't know if that was just maybe they missed it. Let me know if you have Van Helsing and yours has like a screen on it. It really does make it look better. You know, it's got all your buttons on it. It looks good. Little antenna. So real nice, okay? And it does have a spot, if it's like the other ones. Here we go. You can pop it right in here. All right. So this is one of the pouches. They're modular. Everything on this is very modular. So let's say this is the piece that goes on the thigh. You get two of them. All right. It just slides right up and we'll put that on there. Two different shades of green. So you got the clasp. Then you got the strap that is a lighter green. I think it looks really good here. And these ports, you can actually change anything that you want. So this here, we can just kind of punch right in there. If you want to have the radio on him here, we'll also be able to put it on the plate carrier too. All right, so we'll move that there. All right, but that's the two pieces there. We have his knife. All right, same knife that came with Van Helsing. Nice brown handle. It's got a black blade, but you can see where they've sharpened it. It is silver, along with the guard right here, and obviously the bottom. This is sharp. Do not let a kid play with it. This actually does say for 17 and older. All right. And then here we have the sheath. It looks like it has some weathering, which I do like. And it just plugs right in. All right. And then we can go all the way down. This is in nice and tight, so you don't have to worry about it coming off. But the design on this is really good. And this one has some nice weathering. I remember Van Helsing didn't have as much weathering, but I think it had a little bit of silver where the buttons are. But to pop that thing out, again, nice knife. I want to push it in all the way. It's going to be hard to get out. All right, we have a pouch, all right, that can go on to his plate carrier. If you saw Van Helsing, his were already on it. So they've already done a little bit of mixing and matching, which, like I already mentioned, I'm perfectly fine with. Here's another pouch, and we have a magazine. Now, this machine, or this assault rifle comes with three different magazines. It's got a nice painted bullet. It looks good here, and this one is the exact same. All right. Now, I had mentioned in the last video, Mezco and Gridiron are really the only people I know that paint their bullets. I thought this kind of could fit in there. I guess technically it does. It's not really where you would want it. But they give them to you, so I'm assuming this is actually what that's for. Where you can either use the radio or you could use a magazine. Probably just going to have to use a little bit more pressure to get that thing to go in all the way. All right. We'll push these to the side here. Here we have the holster for the pistol. All right. Again, it looks good. I don't think there's any weathering on this. It's just a dark OD green. Nice design on it. And then we have this pistol. Now the other one actually, Van Helsing has gold. This one has red. I guess it goes more with his color scheme of what he's going for. It is a nice looking pistol. That's the only paint. Got the port for blast effects, and if you are wondering, they do fit perfectly fine. Nice and stiff, and I don't think you're going to have to worry about it starting to sag at all. Here we have, pops right in, stays in without a problem, then it does come off. It is nice and straight. It's not soft at all, but it does have give. I think that's the best way to put it. If you remember the early Valaverse weapons, if you were collecting back then, they would snap. He didn't change it too much, but he changed it enough where you don't have to worry about them breaking the way they were. They used to be very brittle. Here's the smaller pistol. Again, blast effect. The trigger has red. The rivet, a little bit of red. I said that doesn't look the greatest. They could have left that off. Actually, this one looks way worse than the other pistol that he came with. Same pistol, but I feel like the paint doesn't look nearly as good on this. Decent looking pistol, though he had no holster for it. That's what I found actually kind of odd. All right, here we have his flashbang or smoke grenades. They're going to plug in, put them wherever you want them. Again, there's 3 on here. They do not remove. You might have to use your retro beachhead, retro snake eyes. They have very similar ones, or some of the Mezco ones come with a whole bunch. All right. So he comes with pauldrons. Don't know how these go on yet. All right. Well, they go on the shoulder. We know that. All right. Nice red. I like the wear because it shows that these guys have been out in battle. They have been going through hell. These are the vampired figures. If I remember correctly, I review toys. I don't review how the toy fits into the line. This is how a review of the toy. But I believe that the vampires cannot be controlled by the Forgotten King. I believe that's what my moderator told me. And that's the reason why Van Helsing has to work with Dracula to get rid of all these other monsters. All right, so the strap has a nice color, and just the red really makes it pop. That little bit of stuff really sets off a figure in a good way, not in a bad way. Here is the other pouch. Now, Van Helsing came with this on it. It's got some shotgun shells here. It looks like a butterfly knife. All right, it doesn't come out. Then just here's some pouches. All right, nice weathering, different colors, so it will offset, and that can be plugged in here. This whole piece can come off. Again, if you watch my last video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Here is the stands that it comes with. Operation Monster Force. This is obviously supposed to be a tombstone. It's pretty beat up, like it's supposed to be. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Engraved Operation Monster Force and some pegs. And here's going to tell you Delta Red. That really stands out. On the back, there's nothing. They should have made that just kind of flat, but I guess you're going to be looking at it either this way or it's going to be on the ground. I like it as a tombstone. Mark to Toys, he was telling me that he was saying, hey, this is what we should do. And it looks like that's what he did. Here we have his rifle. I believe this is a Scar. If I'm incorrect, please let me know. And we'll take a look, and it is nice and straight. Again, a little bit of flex. That should keep it from snapping real easy. But it also, we're not going to see it bend. So you got the stock. Has a nice paint for the shoulder. All the little paint. It's obviously on some sort of rail system, although there's nothing on it. Right? There is your safety switch, and the magazine does come out. Now, again, these magazines are universal because this M4 over here, it can take these magazines because this does come with Van Helsing. Kind of odd that they gave him this rather than that one, so they do pop in there. This is a very tight fit. I like the way this weapon looks. Got the port for blast effects, and we'll put one of the bigger ones on, and we'll see how it fits. So look at that. And it is a really tight fit, but not to the point where I feel like I'm going to break it by using it. All right? Okay. So let's take a look at these. They're not helmets. They're other heads. So you want to army build, you can army build. So here is one of the masks. It's got the nice red eyes. All right. Nice detail. You can see, look at this is actually green. And that will just make it pop. It is some silver in the back. Some really dark silver. And that design on it just looks awesome. Clearly there's some sort of ventilation in there. This, I guess, would really work because if they are vampires, they can't go out in the sun. So this would kind of allow them to go out in the sun, correct? So then we have this one here. And this is some sort of guard. It's got the painted face on it. And then if you flip it up, you drop it. If you've been watching any of my videos, you know I drop stuff a lot. All right, so a very angry face. Just some white eyes. You got the teeth sticking out. You can see the eyebrows. All right, so the detail is pretty good there. Got the paint right there. All around it. They put a lot into this. So again, you're paying $37 for these figures. You're not going to get them at any other price due to the fact that, well, they're Big Bad Toy Store exclusives. It looks like it has, those are some air holes. No, this actually looks like, I thought because they're on both sides, but there's only one up here. So it makes it look like he's been shot at. So I believe that this comes off. So we can pop this piece off right here. And then let's say you wanted to use a different mask. We can pop this on. So like I said, this is really made so you can buy one figure. All right, you can buy one figure and you can make a whole bunch of different looking figures. So you look at this one. This design is completely different. It still has the same color scheme. All right. And I would assume, do I have it on the wrong way? It almost looks like it's on the wrong way. It's definitely on the wrong way. But this is how I like to do. Is it the... Well, we're going to find out. Nope, Nope, I had it on the right way. So it's weird because you can't see anything. But maybe in this lore, the vampires don't need to be able to see anything. Maybe this is just so if the sun comes up, they can close it and survive. But there you go. So you can make a bunch of different looking... I guess this one also... I guess right here you're able to see out, right? Probably some sort of... supposed to be some sort of way to see without the sunlight coming in. This one only has a port on one side. Anyway, I'm going to pop this off because this one looks way, way better. Anyway, all right. Let's get this thing on. Maybe. Thank you for sticking around. Please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. Let's not drop this. Yeah, so nothing goes on that one. All right, so now let's take a look at the figure. And I'm assuming we're going to get the exact same... Oh, no, it's going to be different articulation for sure because this one has different boots. All right. Let's raise this up so we can see the figure a little bit better. So they clearly have this green tint. I'm assuming this is when they get changed to vampires. He has a nice mohawk. He's got the vampire teeth, white eyes. And you can tell this guy has been through pretty much hell and back. All right. You got that black and gray camouflage, kind of like what Firefly had. He has different forearms. So some sort of digital readout. Probably all has to do with sunlight. Now, that makes sense why you don't see his hands at all. Because if he ends up out in the sun, they don't want to get, vaporized. You got the pants, camouflage all the way down. He does have knee pads. Now, I like the fact that there's 2 knee pads, unlike the original G.I. Joes that only had 1 knee pad. I still don't understand that. Look at those boots. You can see the shoestrings. Now, they didn't go with any different color. I am fine with that. I would assume you probably have the exact same color to begin with. All right, plate carrier is the exact same one that Van Helsing had. Pointing to him, there he is right there. All right, so this piece can come off. These pieces can come off. This whole piece can come off. And then the knife or anything you can sheath back here. I will take everything off in a second. I'm really interested in these forearms. So looking at the forearms, look at the design. It has the little blue. It's the same that's on the radio. And you can see that the straps are painted different color. Again, that really makes it pop. All right. So we'll look at the articulation. we'll look at the head articulation before we pop off the vest. So the head, all right, so his head cannot go up. Van Helsing, he can look up. So he's on a different ball joint. So the neck moves. Well, you know, we might as well just take this off now. Might as well take this off. So we have a mushroom right here. This is going to pop right off. All right, lift the arm up. And then we can take this off. Now, the reason why I wanted to take this off is only because when we start removing stuff, it's way easier to pop this stuff on when it's not on the body. You decide what you want on. This way, you can push it all the way through. All right. When it's on the body and you try and push it, it can be kind of loose and it doesn't fit on properly. Or it doesn't fit properly. All right. So let's throw on. Well, we kind of saw what this head looks like. So it has a neck joint here, so the neck can move. He can look down really well. Unfortunately, he can't look. He can look up a little bit, not that much. Side to side, the neck does move this way. He gets a wonderful T-pose. Bicep swivel right there. Pinless double elbows. Wrist can move. All right. He has the diaphragm cut. And they can actually look down pretty well. But here's how the diaphragm cut moves. I actually like the ab crunch better. I know people are going to argue with me and disagree, but that's what opinions are. He can go side to side in many ways. The Jean-Claude Van Damme drop down hips that pop right back up. He's got the thigh cut. Pinless knees. And this figure here looks like he has the boot cut. Van Helsing does not. So he has the ankle rockers here. So Van Helsing's don't. He doesn't have the boot cut, and the ankles don't really turn to recreate it. Shipwreck for G.I. Joe. His recreate the boot cut. This makes this figure harder to stand. Valiverse also has Duster. There's that leg is the same way. It's not that you can't stand them, but it does make them more difficult. And I don't like stands. If you've been following the channel, you know I'm not a fan of stands. So they do have butterfly joints, and as I showed with the last figure, they work. Now, people have often asked, what do you mean by the butterfly joints? So the butterfly joints are meant so that you can cross your hands like that. G.I. Joes cannot do that. I believe the Crimson Twins can, and that's about it. And this way you can hold a pistol in the hand like this. You can hold a sword, an axe, something like that, right straight out in front of you. Now, once you have the plate carrier on, well, that's going to get in the way. It doesn't matter. Valiverse does a really good job with this. Monster Force seems to. G.I. Joe is awful. Theirs are more aesthetic than anything. But once you put a plate carrier on, well, you've taken that ability away because this is all going to be there. All right, so all of this stuff, as I mentioned, is modular. So here we have, taking a look at the plate carrier, we got scissors on here. So I'm assuming this is some sort of med pack. 2 magazines. All right. Oh, hey, look. That's where the little pistol goes. I missed that on the last video. Right now, people are watching it, and someone's got to be yelling at me. So that is where the little pistol goes. Probably because I took it off. Probably why I didn't realize it. So anyway, got a flashlight and the magazine. So here's the magazines for the pistol. You got these 2 flashbang or smoke grenades. But this here comes off. Oh, and that's exactly why I didn't realize. Once you take this off, it's not really a holster on it. It just creates a spot right there. I pulled that off too quick that I didn't realize it. So that is where the pistol goes, if anyone was wondering. All right, so what we have here is some nice painted clasps. You have this olive green with more like an OD green, and I mentioned the flashbangs here. These all come off. And now you can kind of create whatever you want. Now this here is just, it's kind of a patch, but it's what Grunt from G.I. Joe has. You could put a little phone there. That is real. Those things flip down. The military uses them. So you can put whatever you want there. Maybe you want to put the knife there. But here, let's say we don't want to have him fully loaded up with stuff. Let's not get our thumb stuck in there. We can throw that one right there. We can throw a pouch with a magazine right there. All right. Throw the knife right on the back. Okay. So there's all kinds of things that you can do. And obviously, once you have other figures, well, then you can kind of mix and match using their stuff also. So, let's pop this off here because I really do like having, I want to have this one on them for some reason. Probably because I have the different one on Van Helsing over there. But the reason why I said take this off here, especially for this one here, is you kind of got to wiggle it into place. So then what you need to do here is the exact same thing. Now when it's on his body, it's kind of hard to get that thing in there. I know, that's what she said. But this way we can kind of get that in there a little bit easier. Now you might need to use a little bit of heat. I did not have this issue with Van Helsing. If you need to use heat, you heat this up in hot water, not this. If you heat both things up, it's just going to be too soft altogether. So, but we can put this on. Again, I kind of forgot to show you. But I want to show you exactly how this stuff comes off. I don't think I'm going to do this with every single figure because I'm going to kind of start referring back to other videos, only because it's pretty tedious. These are the first two of the main line that I've done. Like I said, I've done the Joe Fest exclusives. All right. So I'm going to take this off here. Throw it back on. And what you want to do with this is you just need to get something sharp. And you're going to want to reach up in here and then close it. All right. That way the mushroom fits in there really good. You know, there have been some other companies like Valaverse, and I'll probably refer back to Valaverse a lot because I think a lot of the stuff they did is model off their stuff. And I know the owner will probably say that means they copied them completely. It doesn't mean you're copying. You got to look at someone else's product and how they're doing stuff. He had a lot of issues with the mushrooms on the original. He fixed them. It's a good way to, well, it keeps other people, let them kind of know what they have to do. So we'll throw this head on here. Boom, close that. It looks good. You got the shoulder pauldrons. And they're going to slide right up here. And they don't look bad. They don't look super bulky. The G.I. Joe ones, they come with that guy. And any of the steel cores are absolutely awful. And I rip them off pretty much the moment I get them after I do my reviews. Because they don't look good. These here, I think actually look pretty good. They don't seem bulky. They seem to fit way better than what I get from Hasbro Joe's. All right. So there's that. We got the leg holsters. You want the hole to be up because that's how you're going to kind of plug the stuff in, right? You don't need to have them on both legs. You can do one. It's all up to you. Again, your toy. No one is coming to take it from you. Except for if you have a wife. Maybe she might come and take it. So that slides right up there. It looks, as of right now, that their pistols are right-handed. So everyone's going to be right-handed. I guess you could always do a cross. You'd still be right-handed, even if you did a crossover. All right, so that stays on there. This will pop off. So if you're going to take them out and do some sort of footage, or not footage, photography in the outside in the grass or whatever, take the stuff off before. Make sure it's in a box so you're not losing everything, because they're just going to be kind of grumpy if you lose everything, right? I know I would be. And then I really hate the fact that you have these just holes there. I wish they would have given the same thing that Grunt has, that little phone or little tablet. So this is why I said take that off. Do this with it off. Now I'm going to struggle. There's no reason to even pull this one off, to be 100% honest, because you're just going to leave this here. Maybe there's something coming down the line, like that computer that I was talking about, but for the most part, that is definitely just a pain. I have to pull this whole vest off again just to get that on there when I finish up here. I'll pop the head off here. See if I can do it better this way. And before anyone asks, why are you showing us? Why don't you just stop it? I like to show you exactly the struggles that you might have to go through when you put your figures together. Because I feel not enough people do that, and not everyone needs to do that. But there's always new people coming into a new figure line. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull this whole vest off. I didn't have to with Van Helsing, with the Declan. So, you can throw this up here. And again, you can even put, these right here. I just don't know if you'd really want these in the way like that. It just seem like they kind of be cumbersome. We'll throw... Oh, I didn't even... That's right. They have different changes of necks, and I didn't realize that. So look at that. They have different changes of necks. So you can put Van Helsing's head on here. You have to pull the neck off. I didn't even realize that. And it's very soft, pliable. So hey, this is the first time. That's why you're able to move it so much. I'm going to throw this head on. Gotta say, these heads look really good. They could fit in with so many different lines. Oh, maybe. You might have to heat it up. Don't be He-Man, if that's what it comes down to. All right. So, we take our rifle, see how it actually fits on them. Oh, you know what? We didn't change the hands. So, hands come off really easy. Small little peg here. But we do need a trigger finger. Where's our trigger finger? Yeah, right-handed trigger finger. There you go. Now, as my friend Coco Smooth, the casual collector, likes to say, the sexy sniper pose, well, you're definitely going to struggle when there's any type of plate carrier on. So you can see all this stuff just gets in the way. Even the thinnest parts here, they just get in the way. So it's one of those things where you definitely have to play around with stuff. You're gonna have to work around trying to get stuff to fit different weapons from different companies, whether it be Gridiron, Top Fun, Retro Toys, Arsenal Pew Pews, maybe your classified stuff. If you collect Valorverse and you have their weapons pack, that actually looks pretty good. It actually fits fairly well. So there you go. That is a quick overview and look of this Nocturnal. What is he? He's the Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper. he's a repaint right off the bat. All right, there you go. Okay, so I forgot to do it. Here is a lineup of G.I. Joe, Valorverse, and the Operation Monster Force. I did it in the Van Helsing figure review, and you can see that they line up perfect. So these figures will fit in perfect with that line if that's what you're looking for. Some lines not so much, obviously. Stuff like the Star Wars Black Series, not going to fit. Alright, so there's my final review of the Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper. Yes, there is a lot of repaint in this, a lot of reuse, but I kind of expected this because this is how smaller lines work. This is how they get money out of their stuff. And when you make stuff modular and they make it so you can swap things around, I think it's really cool. They're nice figures. This is the second one of the line that I'm doing. I'm extremely happy with it. It poses well, a lot of different options. And again, this is an army builder that there's like 4 or 5 different face plates that you can use, or faces, just so you're not stuck having the exact same figure. So it's up to you. If you want to go out, pick them up. $37, a pretty pricey price tag. But again, I think it is worth it for all the stuff that you're going to get. Alright, so there you go. That is my final review on the Operation Monster Force Delta Red Nocturnal Operations Trooper. And I forgot to show you guys how a jetpack fits. This is a Starduster's backpack. It is extremely loose. So they do have holes right back there. You need some sticky tack just to pop it in there. So if you use backpacks from G.I. Joe, or I don't know, they may actually fit better with the gridiron stuff, because gridirons sometimes seem a little bit bigger. You might need to use just a little bit of sticky tack. But anyway, fooling around with this figure. This is the second one of the line that I've done. I've obviously done the 2 from Joe Fest. I'm liking these just a little bit more. They're a lot of fun. The way that everything poses and everything fits. If you're wondering how they compare to G.I. Joe, well, I really should have shown in this video, but I didn't. You can go back and look at the Van Helsing one. But anyway, yeah, they're nice figures. I like the weapons. You are going to see a bunch of reuse or a lot of repaint. That is how these smaller companies do it. Hell, Hasbro does it with G.I. Joe, Marvel Legends. So don't think that it's anything new when someone starts going, oh, well, it's the same plate carrier that Van Helsing came with. And, well, that's just how they are. This is how you get more money out of your line. You can't make a new complete figure every single time, or you're spending like $100. And hell, even Mezco doesn't do that. So anyway, there you go. If you like them, go pick them up. Big Bad Toy Store is where you can get it at a legit site. So if you're just getting into toys and you're like, hey, I've never heard of this company, it's a legit company, believe me. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Before I go anywhere, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop an Operation Monster Force video. Now, don't go anywhere. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the video to the Van Helsing figure, and down here will be the playlist of all the Operation Monster Force figures that I've done.